Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many people. I recognize some familiar faces, but I'm delighted that there are some new faces too. And those of us on the Grants Committee have read page after page after page of application materials, but we'd like to hear from you in your own words.
This program specifically will go towards children at KGH who are stuck in the psychiatric ward. And what we will do is we will go in with them in the evenings when they're stuck in there and they have nothing better to do in hopes of raising their spirits.
We have a clubhouse. We've just purchased it. We moved in April, so that's very exciting for us. And this particular grant is going to go to furnishing and equipping our teen club room. This will be available to the teenagers and young adults in our community for formal programs of support groups and other facilitated workshops, as well as drop-in. So we want to make sure that no one has to face cancer alone, and this grant will help us do that. So thank you very much.
This money that we've received today will go a long way towards enabling us to hire one of Kingston's best consultants in terms of stonework and heritage, and he will be conducting a survey of the monuments. He'll be developing a conservation plan for us and a maintenance plan for us, with the hopes that we'll be able to ensure the conservation of these monuments and that cemetery for the future, so that Kingstonians will be able to understand their heritage.
We're featuring Thomas King, we have Joseph Boyden, we have Leanne Badamasoke Simpson. We're going to be doing workshops with them as well as the on-stage event. This project in particular is going to feature Aboriginal writers. So as Vera mentioned, the title is Storytelling and Redemption. Conversations, Aboriginal Voices and Reconciliation. And we will be taking a writer onto campus to the Four Directions Student Aboriginal Center at Queen's University. So thank you so much.
This money is going to fund our in-school teen grief program. Grief in adolescence is a very unique experience, and we've developed a program to go into the schools to help the teens cope and continue on into a healthy adulthood. So again, we're very honored. Thank you very much.
ParaSport games for athletes with physical disabilities. There'll be 8 different sports coming to Kingston with 8 different venues around. And these athletes work so hard to get to these. There's qualifying events and standards to reach. We have sports such as track and field and sledge hockey, but also wheelchair rugby, wheelchair basketball, and this year para-equestrian. So we're certainly looking forward to it. Our athletes village is at St. Lawrence College as our games headquarters.
Our event is called the Earth Day Summit. So we invite 25 schools from 3 different school boards out to celebrate Earth Day. And we bring over 100 school children out from grade 5, and we talk about species at risk. We talk about the biosphere, the importance of our ecosystems and wetlands. And we've been doing this for 7 years. It's been very successful, and we're very appreciative of the financial support. Thank you.
This year we're having a one-day event, June 23rd, rain or shine. You're all invited to, where we're asking people to paddle, walk, cycle, wheelchair, however you want to get along our downtown shoreline. It's about a 7.7 kilometer stretch from the Inner Harbor, Douglas Fir Park, around to Lake Ontario Park. And the intent is to raise awareness, particularly about the lack of connectivity. We have a wonderful shoreline and some beautiful gems, but we also have some really disconnected and places in real disrepair. So it's about the good, the bad, and the ugly of our shoreline. And to try and push the city to say we need an integrated, comprehensive waterfront plan. The showcase that day is going to be artwork that Sue Sheedy is going to be curating, and there's going to be installations of word art along the way made out of natural materials, partly to talk about the natural aspect of it, partly to highlight some political questions around this.
Many of our students will be the first in their families to attend a post-secondary institution. And as such, we feel it is critical to bring them to these institutions to give them a taste of what life is like on campus.
This summer, with the money that we've been given by the Community Foundation, we will be taking 40 students to Ottawa and Toronto, where they will be visiting both a college and a university. They will go on campus tours, speak to admission representatives, and have a chance to reflect on the benefits of pursuing a post-secondary education. And perhaps most special of all, they will be connecting with Pathways alumni, students whose backgrounds weren't so different from theirs, but who overcame sometimes insurmountable obstacles.
Thank you very much to the Foundation for this grant. The PARTY program stands for Prevention Alcohol-Related Trauma Injuries, and we're actually the 123rd center around the world that's actually going to be implementing this program. PARTY was actually launched by Sunnybrook Medical Center about 22 years ago, and what the program does, it teaches youth, high school students, grade 10, 11, 12, about the dangers of getting involved in excessive alcohol drinking and what can happen when you're the victim of a trauma injury. So with the help of KGH and all of our injury prevention partners, we've been able to put a program together where high school students will be taken to KGH. We just had our second pilot program yesterday. They are given presentations by police, fire, paramedics, and then they're given a tour of the emergency department, the morgue at KGH, as well as speaking to injury survivors and visiting the OT and physiotherapy departments as well.
The box resulted from the community gathering together and recognizing that accessible arts for those who are marginalized or with disabilities just isn't possible in this city. It's not affordable and it's not necessarily available or accessible. So with the help of the community, we developed the box. ISKA, Immigration Services, Scott Clerk and I spoke. I said, do you have youth who need to learn more about or share about their entrance into Canada, and how can we help them? We spoke, we wrote the grant, and here it is. So again, the community Hart Center is now reaching out to people who want to share their story that may not necessarily have access.
This year we will have many first things. Number one, with help of Community Foundation, we will be able to hire 2 teenagers to be guide and helpers over the summer. And second, the first time will be that for the first time we will be able 3 weeks of the month to provide produce from our own gardens, which will allow us to give produce for nominal cost.
This grant is allowing us to hire a young person in town who is going to take our little market booth at the Kingston Public Market and our one at the Memorial Center Market, where people can do drop-offs, and activate that, animate that with juggling. We've got big carrot costume, we've got activities that are going to go on at the booth, so that there's a reason for people to come up and interact with us and learn about the programs, and hopefully also learn about the needs in the community. The second grant we are also very appreciative of, and I submitted that on behalf of the Kingston Community Gardens Network. We convene that network for the city, and it's all of the community gardens in town, and there's a new one that is getting a good portion of this funding at Lakeside Community Garden, which is on the old prison farm. So good to see that going back into production. Another good portion of this is going to the Elmwood Community Garden to allow them to replace an old shed that's falling down. The community gardens work on such a small margin funding that this is really appreciated for them. Thank you.
Our kitchen is in need of renovation, and the fees that we charge for room rentals are so low that we can operate the house, but it's very difficult to improve it. So we are phenomenally grateful to be able to move forward with a dream to build a kitchen that can be used by community organizations, which are extremely diverse. But we have found that people who prepare food and eat together bond and build community in a very, very special way.
We're part of an international organization called FIRST, and FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology.
On the first Saturday of January, we're given a design challenge. It's a different challenge every year, and we're given exactly 6 weeks from the day that we get our challenge to fully design, build, program, do everything we need to get ready for a competition with our robot. 5 teams get to go from each regional to the world's competition with over 400 teams. and you compete to see who has the best designed robot, who gets involved the most in the community, and who has the strongest teamwork.
Congratulations again to all of our grant recipients, and thank you for coming today to share information about your projects with us, and well done in sharing all that great information in a relatively short period of